Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Daily Bone Podcast, where we discuss all things crypto market. That includes the majors like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, meme coins, and of course, NFTs. Today, we're going to discuss crypto's massive run over the last 24 hours. We've got new all-time highs for things like hype. The Clemente curse is broken. We're going to talk about the SEC's DeFi push. We had the SEC chair making some waves yesterday with what he was saying. And we're going to talk about a massive meme coin runner on Solana. GM, I'm joined today by my panelists, Easy and Clemente. Easy, how you feeling this morning? That hype buy has to feel really, really nice.
Feels better now that I'm not underwater.
Yeah, there we go.
Feels much better now that we're up.
Clemente, so the curse is broken. I wonder if somebody paid that witch to uncurse you.
Maybe. Yeah, it's funny how people were talking smack about the kid. People were talking smack. Hey, what's Clemente doing? He's doing it again. Top blasting, one of the greatest assets in the world. So, I'm not too surprised, Ray. It's just how I move right now. You know what I'm saying?
Small P Energy coming with a haymaker in the comments. Is Clemente curse really broken when we're about to get alt season when Clemente became a Bitcoin maxi?
Bro, Small P Energy, we've been calling for alt season for the last 3 years, buddy. Simmer down. I think alt season is already here, dude. Look at hype. Look at the hype chart. People are like, alt season is coming. They're really just talking about ETH, if we're being honest.
It's kind of coming. ETH's kind of coming. It's outperforming everything right now.
It's kind of coming. ETH is up $214 in the last 4 years.
This is a fact, but we can still have faith. The ETH maxis among us.
This guy, Small P Energy, you better simmer down, dog. You better simmer down.
I like the name. It's pretty good.
Or is it Small Penergy?
Small Penergy is reflecting, his comments are reflecting his username, I would say.
Oh, man. We've got lots to talk about today. We're going to thank the partner for today's show, DYDX. Love DYDX. We just had news breaking this morning. They released their payout number for season 2 for May. So if you haven't been following, they've been paying out for their surge rewards, $20 million allocated over a 9-month period. They paid out over $1 million for April. May's payment just came out, $1.4 million given out to traders who just use their platform. Extremely EV plus when you're using their platform. You get all of these rewards. You get not only referrals, you get volume rewards, and then you get this on top. So if you're trading perps, why aren't you trading on DYDX? Need to trade there. Go to bodoggos.com/DYDX. Also, season 1 of their Kaido rewards is wrapping up, I believe today or tomorrow. I don't know the exact time and like the crossover to month 2, but month 1 will end. The top yappers are going to get paid $50K per month over 3 months. So season 1 payout should be coming out easy. I think you're going to be eating there. You're on like the top 25 on that board. But like I said, trade on DYDX, earn the surge rewards, post about it on the timeline, earn more rewards. There is not a perps platform where you can be doing this much in terms of extra rewards out there. Sign up for DYDX right now, bodoggos.com/DYDX. We love working with them. We love using the platform. That being said, Clemente, are you juiced up for a weather report?
I'm always juiced up,
ready
man.
to rock and roll here?
I'm always freaking juiced up, man. Let's freaking rock and roll. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Tuesday, June 10th. Looking over at the crypto roundup, the majors are up on the day. We got ETH outperforming. Surprised with that one. A lot of ETH ETF inflows over there. Bitcoin is just under 110K. Ethereum is approaching 2,800. I'm not talking about Solana. I'm talking about hype instead. I'm going to throw hype in here. Hype is at $41. Over the past 24 hours, some news. We got SEC Chairman Paul Atkins made remarks at the Crypto Task Force Roundtable pushing for DeFi innovation. Some good clips here. Paul Atkins was clip farming, stating that this creates innovation exemptions to allow new products to quickly go to market and stating that the right to self-custody is a foundational American value. Paul Atkins, I like the way you speak. Next up, it was another big day for crypto ETFs as BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF became the fastest ETF to $70 billion in AUM. They did it in less than 341 days. We did it, Joe. We did it. Ethereum ETFs extended their inflow streak to 16 days with $52 million of daily net inflows. I was looking at this yesterday. Holy shit. ETH ETF looking juicy. Will the sellers run out of tokens? That may not be the case until the foundation runs out of coins. Finally, the block reported that the Uphold crypto platform may be getting ready to IPO. It's IPO season for crypto, baby. A source said the company is targeting a valuation above $1.5 billion and is debating between an IPO and an acquisition. That's it for the weather report. We're looking good. We're looking good. Back over to you in the studio.
Excellent weather report as always, Clemente. Looking at this Uphold news, I think this is really funny. Like how like it just starts off. It's like fresh off a trip to Vegas where the Uphold CEO was there. He's like, get back from Vegas, did some gambling. All right, let's IPO now. I'm ready. I'm feeling it. I'm juiced up to go. I think we're gonna see a ton more of these IPOs and IPO news coming out.
I mean, they would have to.
Waters, people trying to get acquired, people like trying to get funding. I mean, the Circle thing really blew the doors open for IPO season for crypto, I think.
Agree 100%. And you know who's going to be at the forefront of that? Mr. Vlad Tenev from Robinhood, huh?
Why is that? Just like offering them on the platform?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you sell them, you're a paper hand bitch.
Dude, I saw that. I didn't realize that. Is that a Robinhood thing or like a US like regulation? I saw like it's like someone tried to sell their Circle IPO and they're like, you get put in like IPO jail for 60 days if you sell.
Yeah, I don't know how they're coming up with their own Jeet jail as Virtuals does.
While we're talking about virtuals, we had big news out of the virtuals ecosystem yesterday, expanding to Ethereum for the Iris agent launch. The Ethereum Foundation quote tweeted the virtuals launch. This feels like more support than Base has ever given them. Essentially, this new agent is being launched by the virtuals team. Like it's a virtuals team product, essentially. So looking at this, it's powered by Auto Agent. It's
on ETH mainnet.
Collaboration led and managed by virtuals built on Nethermind technology on ETH mainnet.
Ugh.
This token is going to smash every single subscription record for virtuals. Launch starts in 22 hours for deposits. Strategy for this is always like wait till the end to see how far your points are going to get you. If you're not going to get much virtual you're not going to be able to put much virtual in for this. It might be better to save your points. There's also another launch 2 days from now that should be interesting as well. One of the hackathon top 10 placers is launching. So this week is going to be a big week for virtuals launches. Watching these two is going to be pretty key and pivotal. Also, like watching the rest of your bags, because with these big launches, we've talked about this on the platform before, you may have people take profit here. And when you take profit, the strategy is to take profit on everything. So people could be nuking a large portion of bags. So like that's another thing I'll be watching for with these launches this week. How have you been doing on virtuals, Easy? Have you been just stacking points at this point? How many points you up to?
100K.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know what that'll really get me, but I'm at like my yaps are what get me the most now. I get like 12 to 13K a day.
Yeah. Yep. Are you staking Kaido?
No.
Yeah. I mean, if you're staking Kaido, I think you get almost double that.
But no, really, Ray. I've staked Kaido. I'm not getting shit, dude. Dude, I don't get. I have 5K of this Kaido token staked,
and you're not getting
tokens.
You're not getting points for this.
I'm not getting shit, dude. You have
84K. Let's see what your point. Let's see what your point situation is.
I don't want to show it.
Show it. Let's have another blast moment.
I stake Kaido. I freaking yap like there's no tomorrow. I'm a top.
Yeah, but you yap about bad stuff, dude. You're over
here matter.
Like, yeah, man. Like honestly, like the price
I have 2,000 points.
Micro strategy and like you yap about shit.
Click on view points history. Underneath there, click on view points history,
bro. I'm getting cooked, dog.
Drop down one of those. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why
600 points. That's ass.
Not great. That's not great. I was wondering if we get kicks on for a surprise visit during hype all-time high today. Kicks, how you feeling?
Hey, Kicks.
What's
Listen,
up?
man. You might have to get two
I gotta
SUVs
golf
the way we're
tomorrow.
trending.
Oh, nice. How you feeling today?
Feeling pretty good, man.
I need a little more energy out of you after this hype run we've seen this morning.
Nah, you got job not finished, dude.
Yeah,
What's your target?
I got well, I told my wife now she doesn't have to ask me how the trade's going. I told her the ticker. I said that's your tracker. So don't ask me any more questions. But when that gets to 100, you can get your SUV.
Okay, I like that. I would love a 2.5x from this. I mean, Kicks, I got size in this thing.
I would say, yeah. Next target's Cardano, man.
The fuck is Cardano?
25 billion.
Okay. All right. Think it's doable.
Do we know when the next airdrop's happening?
Nope.
Are we concerned about dilution?
There's nothing happening until at least November.
Okay. So you just got to get there by like September when people start trying to.
I think we trade $70 by August, which it's a long way. Some people said that my targets are too low.
50% gain ish, a little more than 50% puts you
One
at.
hype maxi sent me the BNB chart and said you're not thinking bright enough. And I looked at that chart and it's just like from $20 to $700. I was like, okay, listen, this goes to $700. I'm probably never showing up for the show again.
BNB on the daily.
Yeah. Scroll down. Right. So they sent me that part where it just goes green and vertical.
200 or this one here.
One of them. I don't know. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, this one
That
probably,
one,
right?
probably.
36 to 600.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was also, a little stimmy juice in that baby.
Yeah.
But the technicals, I think, are similar in the sense of there's no additional supply like coming out for hype anytime soon. So it's all of the money on the market or all the tokens are circulating right now that are going to be circulating for a while. So you have that, and there's been plenty of time for those to change hands from people that want to sell to people that want to hold. And lastly, they're buying and burning 100% of their revenue, which is millions of dollars a day. And as price goes up and more people hear about it, more people start to use it as their exchange, more fees are generated. So
Yeah, I think it's very smart that and I think it's why we're seeing.
and they got shilled in Congress yesterday. Maybe not a good thing, but could be a good thing short term.
But acquiring spot hype, the way to do it is to buy it on Hyperliquid. So they're pushing people to their platform who want exposure, and they're also getting users in that way. So I think seeing a number of these other big exchanges, they're well, we should probably list this so we're not just driving more traffic to them in the process,
Can we? I mean, they're 100%. So we're pretty much 100% that James Wynn was paid?
No.
Or
dude.
no? You're telling me Andrew Tate isn't getting paid by Hyperliquid?
Bro, his account's down $500,000.
Yeah, but he was trying to flex a fake P&L. I find it hard to believe that they have zero marketing spend.
I don't think they have marketing spend.
Their marketing
think
spend
that's
is
true.
that they buy back the token.
I think you're just too stuck on MicroStrategy and Bitcoin.
Dude, you can't even. First of all, I bought hype before you, so pipe down over there.
You want to go size for size here?
No,
Let's
I'm
see
not
who
going
has
to go
no
hype for. I'm not going to go.
You can't just outsize everyone easy. You're
the.
the richest guy, dude. That's not
Let's
fair.
go size for size.
That's an
Check
excuse.
the bank. I bet I'm up more money than you.
Literally, you were talking when I bought it. We can find the tape. I bought it. You're like, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, that's
Man.
because you are an idiot. It went down.
Not down anymore. Not
Yeah,
down
let's see
anymore.
who's up more.
This is bullshit.
Listen. Yeah, let's pull out our wieners.
It's already pulled out.
You'll beat me there, but I still got a bigger hype bag.
Man, fuck this, man.
Hey, everyone always has a bigger bag. There's always someone out there that has a smaller bag. Okay.
Yep, this is true. So let me show you this 23K market cap shitter I'm also in.
Audience,
If you're interested, it's a dog. It's a good dog.
Kicks, did you see the Veil play from 2 weeks back? That thing pumped out of nowhere.
Yeah, baby.
Did you exit or are you still holding?
I never bought it.
You never bought it?
No.
Damn. Neither did I.
Just because there's just no activity on it.
Yeah. You said that was a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, it went up in price. It was the right thesis.
Yep. Other tokens that are interesting today. We saw the Verse token launch on Pump.fun. What the hell was this, Easy? This thing ran to $1 billion, right?
Metaverse game on Epic Game Store that launched and bought 97 or 98% of their own coin. So like they basically just had complete supply control. It launched on Pump.fun, and it seems like it's a push for Pump.fun to want to do like the ICM meta. So like the Internet Capital Market meta. It was like an actual project live on the App Store. Team officially backed it, etc. Ran over $1 billion. So circulating supply was actually closer to like 15 mil, but everyone was just freaking out because it just godsent, like just straight up to 1.4 billion. So everyone was like, holy shit, this thing is the future of France, yada, yada, this, that, and the third. In reality, it's some Dubai metaverse company that's like probably not that great.
Yeah, this is interesting. Yeah, I saw around the 1.1 billion, and I was like, there has to be something like going on here.
It was just pure. I mean, dude, they own literally so much of the supply and seeded it across LPs. So like, yeah, I don't know.
So it looks like they adjusted the market cap on Dex Screener. So FDV is now at 547. So that's down 50% from its peak. But it did run to 107 mil in terms of circulating market cap, which is interesting.
I don't know. For me, this was one that I was like, I did trade it. I made like 7 or 8 SOL on the thing. I bought in at 750 million and sold it at $1 billion. So like a small bag on it. But I don't know. I was purely just trading volume. Like this thing to me was just like holding this is just dumb. Like I don't know. People keep saying like the trenches are dead, but there's still like decent runners every day. You're getting a lot of the VO3 stuff right now, like these vlogs. Have you seen like this Bigfoot vlog thing? Have you ever seen those videos at all? Any of you guys?
No.
So people are taking like Bigfoot and like animals and doing like vlogs, like influencer style vlogs with them. And this thing Bigfoot vlog ran to like 2 or 3 mil from like literally zero. So like you're getting a lot of AI, but it's a different type of AI style right now, where it's like more AI content versus AI agents. And a lot of people are like, yeah, man, trenches are dead, but there's still runners basically every day, just not as terribly high in my opinion, which is fine. Like just adjust. Granted, then go look at AVAX. You have Daniel Sesta absolutely cooking with Lambo and Frog Nation over there. You have base coins running right now. Obviously, Virtual's doing well. I'm very curious if this Iris thing kicks off like an ETH AI agent meta, which would fucking suck, personally, because gas is so terrible. For context, too, that Plasma presale yesterday, somebody paid $100,000 to put in 400K to get into the presale yesterday. There's 1,100 buyers on that thing.
Wait, wasn't it? Didn't they put in multiple million?
Was it? Because I thought the cap was
million,
like
and they paid 100,000 in gas on it.
All I saw was that it was like they maxed out whatever their allo was, and that was 100K in gas fees to get in on the first block.
Yeah, I think like it sold out in the first block or in the first few blocks.
4 blocks.
And then they upped the allocation to 500 mil, and then that sold out pretty quickly afterwards as well.
I don't know.
There wasn't like a large quantity of people who got in either. It was like I want to say
1,100, 1,100 people total. Well, see, 500K too.
Yeah. So what are you looking at here? 500 mil divided by 1,100 people.
Never mind.
450K average size. Say it one more time.
CBB, the Blast Barra Farmer, put 33.5 million in.
Believe it.
So like, dude, look at that. Like the dude owns almost a fucking 10% of the thing.
Yeah, I wonder how much like of the token is going to be allocated through that. I don't know the exact numbers through that sale, but yeah, that's wild. And that's locking up capital for like an indeterminate amount of time. Like it could be like a year at least.
Also, that 26K market cap's now at 50. Big wins.
Love to see that. See if there's anything interesting else about this. Anything else interesting about the plasma that I saw? Yeah, 1108 got in. Top three plasma depositors: 50 mil, 33.5, and 24. I guess that 33.5 was CBB. They have 21% of the total plasma deposit. Top 10 wallets deposited 40% of the available supply. Top 84 wallets, basically 90% of the supply. Yeah, somebody spent 39 ETH to deposit with gas, like you said. So pretty wild. We're seeing basically stablecoins are like the talk of crypto right now, and people are trying to find ways to get exposure to stablecoins. I saw another stablecoin raise this morning that I hadn't heard of. Noah.
Not familiar with it.
One to watch here. They raised 22 million in funding. Felix Capital, FJ Labs, Local Globe. So another one just to keep your eye out on, maybe follow, see what's going on there. But stablecoins seem to be all the rage. I think we've been talking about this for a while, that stablecoins are kind of like the crypto app, the one that makes the most sense in terms of product market fit. So people obviously want some sort of exposure to that revenue model. Circle, Tether, that generating top revenue in the space. Any thoughts on these stablecoin launches, sales? Any idea like how you frame this in like the current meta kicks, or like what you're thinking about when you see all these numbers thrown around and all this crazy like money kind of like circulating?
In terms of stable coins?
Yeah.
I mean, like it's cool from like a technology perspective, I guess, but I'm not sure like I want to be like investing in a bunch of new stable coins. And this isn't like a necessarily like a new thing. Like last cycle, we had plenty of these things happening. When I first got into crypto, there was this whole idea to try to make algorithmic stable coins that like had no underlying backing whatsoever. And those really didn't work out well at all. And then, I mean, Luna's whole thing that made it explode was like it was a stable coin, like farm essentially at like a 20% APY, and people were looping it to get way more APY on it. And we've had like Frax launched in that era. That's a big stablecoin thing. We had Curve last cycle, big stablecoin thing. MakerDAO, big stablecoin thing. So I mean, like all of these things have like been done before. I personally think that you're kind of betting on something usurping the dominant parties, which is USDT and USDC. And I think that's like a riskier bet than probably people think. Because you can make a stable coin, anyone can make a stable coin, but the only way a stable coin makes money is volume. Mm-hmm. So you have to, Athena is another one that launched relatively recently, right? Another like stable coin play. So it doesn't like the idea like, oh, this thing's going to be able to launch and it's going to be able to make a stable coin that's like pegged and stable. I'm not saying that's like easy to do, but that's been done dozens of times. So if you're going to make a bet on one of these plays, you need to make a bet that not only are they going to be able to make another stable coin, but they're going to be able to make it so good or get so much distribution or so much market share that they're going to generate enough volume and activity that they're going to make a lot on fees, right? Because at the end of the day, it's basically how many people are actually holding their stable coins that's going to translate into how much money that they can make. So you're betting that someone's going to beat USDC that just IPO'd and went to the fucking moon, or they're going to beat USDT, which is printing billions of dollars in profit every year. I just think that like that's, I don't know. It's kind of like, betting on a startup that's like, we're going to beat Google. And it's like, yeah, that's theoretically possible. And if you make that bet and you're right, you're going to be super rich. But the likelihood of that happening is pretty low. And I don't think enough people in the space are like accounting for that. Like, whatever new stablecoin is launching is going to have to, like, if they become better than USDC or USDT, you're rich, sure. But like, is this going to even be better than MakerDAO, which is like a top 5, So like me personally, I think it's cool that there's more and more stablecoin activity, because that means we're getting more and more liquidity into crypto, which is going to have spillover effects, which I think is great. But I'm not personally, I don't consider myself to be someone that's smart enough or educated enough to make good bets on new stablecoin startups. So it's not something that I'm going to play in.
Yeah, I think that makes sense, and it is getting crowded. We did just see the Stable. It's called Stable, basically a new L1 blockchain backed by Tether and Bitfinex get announced as well. So it seems like it's becoming a crowded space and maybe harder to identify and place those bets. Nick, thank you for joining us. Welcome to the show. How you feeling this morning? What have you been looking at?
What have I been looking at, Ray?
Yeah, what have you been looking at?
Looking at the sun.
I actually been looking at the sauna is what I was looking at. I just came back from the sauna. I forgot my gym shorts, so I worked out in a bathing suit at the gym, which was fun. Honestly, dude, I mean, Bitcoin, and Hyperliquid, obviously. Holy shit. I mean, Hyperliquid is absolutely stunning. I'm fucking pissed because I haven't made the bridge. I'm about to have a higher average buy than Clemente.
My average buy is lower than Easy's probably. So it's me, Easy, then you.
Fuck it though. I'm putting.
I'm still up more than Clemente though.
The main thing I've been watching has nothing to do with any of this. It's literally just the implosion of Apple.
You're very upset about this.
Well, I just think. Well, that new design is garbage. I don't want to
glass
fucking.
thing is really bad.
Like, I don't want to touch it. I've been looking at switching to Android, but I'm gonna have to convince. Or I mean, I'm always gonna have an iPhone somewhere.
I don't know.
I mean,
why
you don't
would switch
respond to
an
messages
Android.
anyway, so it's not going to make a huge difference.
Why you would switch to an Android, bro? You were on Android for a long time. Look at Ray holding it down on the Android side. Look at this guy.
Yeah, I switched over an iPhone. I like it a lot better.
Well,
Yeah, I got my Android.
you bought it. You bought at the top,
iPhone.
bro.
No, it's just like what are you trying to do with your phone? I guess is the main question.
Oh, just crazy shit, dude.
Yeah, maybe an Android for you then.
I mean, what do you think I'm trying to do?
I don't know. Be a green texter, never get a date again.
Oh, zing. Why you got to talk shit about, I don't know. Anyways, my biggest takeaway is I want to long the fuck out of Google here. I'm very interested in options on Google. Google is already off the top. And I was looking at their financials. This is very boring, I realized, because this is like talking about like fucking real estate or something like that. But their market cap, I was looking, Apple, Google, Facebook, Amazon, who has the most cash? Microsoft.
Google.
Amazon.
Anybody else? You're muted, Clemente.
Google.
It is Google. So the
That was very
Apple's-
anticlimactic.
Apple's in like an awful situation. Facebook borderline has more cash than Apple, which is insane.
Who has more Bitcoin though?
What's that?
Who has more Bitcoin though?
Yeah, Nick, these are all boring ass companies. This is your barbell. Hype is one side, is one like of the racks, one of the 45ers.
The other side
Right.
is Google.
On the other side is Ethereum.
No,
And
no.
in the middle, so the boring thing in the middle is SWBI.
What's the next level on hype, by the
Smith
way?
and what?
What
I was going to ask you to bring it up, Nick, if you want to do some charting. I'd love to see
I
charts.
got my
on
chart
hype.
live and ready to go as someone who's significantly overinvested in hype.
Hit it up easy.
Let's see, let's get it. Okay.
Smith and Wesson. Everyone's gonna need guns, dude.
50,
That is true.
50, and then 74.
So where are you getting out, Easy? He hates this question.
As soon as it breaks out of its upward
Probably up
trend.
here.
No, for real. For real.
To be honest, I don't actually have like a set target. Probably like up here. 100, 110.
Really?
Yeah. I think this trade will net me a calm, cool, collected quarter milli.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
so. You put in what, $100,000? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's lots of things happening, which is
I put real quick, Kicks. Nick, I put the entire punk trade in it. I sold the punk and put the entire balance into hype.
I mean, I like that.
Well, I have the hype punk chart right here. And it's just clearly breaking out.
That's funny. They have a chart for that.
Yeah, hype
It's
punk
on
week.
the hype punk chart is unreal.
I needed
Like
it just to make
ever
sure
played.
if anyone tries to attack me for my move. I'm like, yeah, well, we're already outpacing it. We're up
Can someone explain the Hyperliquid Arbitrum connection? That's the last part of this ingredient that I don't understand.
So hype before they launched their own L1 was on Arbitrum, like the DEX originally.
Yeah.
The bridging stuff though has gotten easier. Like you don't need to bridge now over to it. You can just deposit ETH, Sol, or Bitcoin right to the hype EVM.
Now, where do you do that?
It is on app.hyperliquid.xyz.
Oh my God.
You okay?
Now I'm on Arbitrum and fucking I don't have enough gas there, dude. This
Shoot your wallet address in the
Nick,
Slack
this
section.
friction is good. This means you're still early.
is this a good thing?
Yeah, I love friction plays.
You do love friction, dude.
What the fuck?
Got him.
Got him. Oh shit. He likes 6.
Can we look at can we
Just
look at
wait, dude.
Bitcoin or
Wait for a year from now when hype EVM is as fast as Solana.
Where am I sending my wallet address, by the way?
anywhere where I can see it?
I'm putting it in the private chat here.
Okay.
You sending me some money on Arbitrum?
Yeah.
What do I need for gas?
ETH.
Oh
Pretty
my God,
pretty
dude.
cheap.
What's the point of having ARB? I bridged ARB
The
over there,
governance token.
and I just have ARB and no ETH, and then now I can't bridge it back. Man,
Swap the ARB to ETH and put it into Hyperliquid and go into
I know I
perps.
can't. I can't because I don't have the ETH to do it, so I need to bridge ETH over it.
Hmm.
Anyways,
So
We're
you're
still
holding
early to
ARB on
crypto,
ARB?
man. Lots of friction.
of bullshit ARB.
There you go, Nick. You should have that. I want to look at some other charts. Have you charted ETH or Bitcoin lately? Easy. I'm really curious about ETH because it's been outperforming.
ETH looks pretty
all
nice,
day.
man.
ETH looks really good. Yeah, you got a nice breakout here. Looks like we're primed for 3,500.
Wow.
Nice break, consolidation, break above here again. If we can hold this like 270, 40 level, it looks really good.
The timeline will be insufferable with ETH maxis if that happens.
It already is.
I won't say
Yeah.
anything.
Kicks, where'd you buy? 1,600?
Yeah.
Goodbye, man. Goodbye.
ETH,
So-
you've really done a good job trading ETH. Like historically, right? Like I feel like you always buy bottoms. You sold at that top.
Look
earlier.
at that chart. That is a crazy chart.
Yeah. That's T-wopping in, man. That's TradFi T-wopping in on that.
All right, so I got money on Hyperliquid now. Wait, what do? You go to app.hyperliquid? All right, cool. Thanks, y'all. Oh, and I'm in a restricted jurisdiction.
Yeah, so you do have to get on a plane or a boat.
What is going on?
Don't ask questions, man.
Where? Canada?
Anywhere but the United States of America. Bitcoin, by the way, looks good. 150 is the target. That looks good. And my personal favorite, Robinhood. The best stock and the fastest horse.
It's almost as good as Google. Maybe you heard of it.
What's that? I only use ChatGPT. Haven't opened Google in probably 7 months. Dollars, trash. NQ, decent.
How about
S&P.
Solana?
Solana's kind of in an ugly spot, dude.
What? So is Canada not good with Hyperliquid? It's not letting me trade from Canada.
You're in Canada?
I'm very similar to Clemente. I'm in Mexico.
What is DEI higher even saying? Yep, these guys top tick every trade. LOL. Bitcoin has outperformed since kick spot. I bought Hyperliquid at $28. It's $41, and Bitcoin's moved up 8%.
I think this is just like a random troll who's been here the last couple days. I think he's been hurt some way, and
What?
He got banned yesterday. It's definitely that guy who was
it's
yapping.
definitely that guy. Yeah.
What's going on with Solana here, though? That's the real question.
So Easy just moved. Easy used to be our chief Solana correspondent. Now he's moved over to Solana.
What do you mean he moved up? What?
He moved over to Hyperliquid.
Yeah, because fastest horse.
So are you moving your Solana over?
I still have a ton of stake Solana just because I don't want to take the tax burden. I just don't feel like doing it. But most of my spot cash is not on Sol. It's mostly elsewhere. I have some on base. I have a lot on Hyperliquid. I still have like some money too, just in Hype outside of the big position I have on Hype the DEX, just because I'm interested in like if they do get an NFT or meme season. I still think there's stuff on Sol that's interesting for sure, but like most of the attention is shifted elsewhere. I'm still trading Solana memes very frequently, but like I don't have any substantial size on Sol aside from my stake Solana, which is still my biggest crypto position.
Do we think that so like we really haven't seen a meme coin season where we've seen just like PvE runners and crazy stuff happening? I mean, we just see this Verse token as kind of like a one-off here. Do we think the Pump.fun like sale / airdrop could be like a liquidity infusion event potentially with like an airdrop coming in and then people kind of like rotating around after that launches? Because I feel like there's going to be a big like inhale where things are going to pull back prior to that because people are going to want to get involved in the token. But once the token launches, I feel like we could see some craziness.
I think it's going to be a big like liquidity suck for the majority of coins. Like as soon as they announce the date, you're just going to see a bunch of on-chain Solana activity shift to USDC because that's what they're doing to raise it. So like
right. So
every
my thought was,
meme
like, once that drops, like it's that liquidity is not just going to necessarily sit in Pump.fun. Like people may take profit. There would be an airdrop.
I think a lot of people, Ray, are going to exit with it. They've lost so much in the trenches that it's like this is basically like a refund, a kickback.
So you think that the gamblers are going to take their airdrop, sell it, and then just put it in their bank account and quit crypto?
No, I think some will move it elsewhere or hold it in Sol versus continue to trade. I do think there will be some trading, but I don't think we're going to see like as aggressive of a like. I think it'll be just like Trump, dude. People made multiple 7, 8, 9 figures on Trump, and the trenches literally fell off a cliff the following 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Granted, you had like Melania and Libra and all the other bullshit that happened, so it didn't help. But I think so many people have been scarred and damaged from trading every single day that this is like their, okay, I lost it all. Now I'm at least getting something back. That they're not going to be hyper incentivized to run that bag up because if they lose it again, it's going to hurt that much worse.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. My thought process is this is going to gamblers and gamblers gamble.
Yeah, I think some will. And I think like maybe for the following day or two, you'll see a slight uptick. But I don't think you're going to see this like huge on-chain boom where we outpace all previous time.
Yeah, it also depends if the airdrop is unlocked day one, right?
Yeah, there's speculation that the raise will happen and the airdrop won't happen for an extended period of time.
Interesting. Patapoo says thoughts on the Iris launch on virtuals tomorrow. We talk about this at the beginning of the show, so if you just tuned in, flip back to the beginning. We cover this pretty well. Yeah, I mean, in terms of like Solana trading, easy. Are you basically just trading like new tokens, new runners?
Yeah, for the most part. It's more just like, and it's not like serious size. It's more just like I enjoy seeing what's happening in that side of the space.
Yeah, it makes sense. Can you chart Fartcoin? It seems like we had a nice little run over the last 24 hours here. We talked about this yesterday, potentially getting or reflipping SPX, and it looks like it's
Look at that cup and handle that we had drawn. It played out perfectly. Absolutely
Is this
perfect.
like an extended one now that we're running here? Like just even a bigger one?
I mean, yeah, basically. Like you could probably just go.
Right?
Yeah.
Everybody was hating on this, saying, "Oh, Fartcoin's dead. They shit the bed."
This chart's way more interesting.
SPX 6900 for people listening.
Yeah, SPX 6900. We're at resistance here, but I mean, dude, 270, 280 on this. Murad's right. Believe in something. Flip the stock market. I like that. I mean, MOG is interesting as always, just because that is like the ETH coin. This thing's down bad though. They give this a break here and it probably pushes back, but I don't know. There's still like a lot of stuff that I probably still wouldn't touch. Market's weird, man. Market's weird. Stuff's moving, but it's not moving in the coins that you want it to sometimes. You know?
That's why my mom always said, you should just fucking chase.
You should always buy the coin that has a 90% candle. Ray
Buying the
Arquan,
strength. Buying the strength.
1632.
I am going to ask Nick and Kicks. Thank you, Alfalfa. Nick Kicks, do you think Bitcoin will break all-time high this week?
What's all-time high?
112.
I've never been good at guessing that.
Well, I don't like the rejection here. Gonna be honest about that. If you look at the daily, things are not looking as good as they are on the weekly. Let me pull this up real quick and give you the analysis that everyone's waiting for. Like this is not what you're looking for. We need the pump was incredible. There's a lot, all the news, the macro news, ignore the price for a moment. The macro news is as bullish as you can get for Bitcoin. Also ignore the fact that quantum computing is going to hack this and it's going to be valueless in like a few years, but ignore that. And let's focus on the fact that governments are buying, the US is buying. Choose Rich Live came up with a post that I saw that was about like one of the Congress people was bought $800,000 of Bitcoin before a Bitcoin reserve was announced. That's dirty, dude. The inside trading goes both ways. You know what I'm saying? So that's it's as bullish macro wise as you can get. Frequently, that may almost be the worst time to buy. If I'm being honest, you want to win
CPI data tomorrow too.
Well, now there's like bullish expectations of CPI. I don't know.
Can we get any worse? I mean, like we're not going to see rate cuts this year, right? Like I think that's almost like guaranteed, right?
Do you see the chart PO linked?
Well, they don't need to cut rates in order to put money in. Is the current situation? No, what's the chart, Kicks?
I put it in the private chat.
This one?
Yeah.
The global M2 money supply.
So it's supposed to fucking rip pretty soon to 120.
Where is that chart from? What? So this is projecting into the future?
I don't know. Yeah, I asked that last time, but now it's perfectly mirroring the chart. So
I feel like every time I see this, it changes where it's lining up. Now
Does it?
here's an 8-minute demonstration of it over time.
And that's the thing.
That's a shitty video.
84-day offset of the global M2 money supply versus Bitcoin.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, well, I think the price is going up. Will it break an all-time high this week? Let's go around, make a bet. Will Bitcoin break? I'm going to say yes.
I said yes. We did this yesterday.
Yeah, I said no, but we didn't get urine kicks.
Yes,
analysis
it's
there.
happening. It's happening this week. My target still stands at 150 here. Well, technically, it'd actually be 157. But the question is, how fast do we get there? It's a big jump between 103 and 157. I mean, this is one of the big. This is a big ol' factorial.
This is May 3rd, and it's the same fucking chart where it's like, oh, it's gonna go up only immediately. Like, what's going on?
I think the most important question is the 4-year cycle broken for Bitcoin?
Yes.
Where you don't see that 75% pullback.
Yeah.
I think that was 16-year cycle.
yeah.
So like, what would you look for that to be invalid? I mean, like we're kind of setting up, like, if it was a classic 4-year cycle that got accelerated with ETFs, like you're setting up for that double top that we saw last cycle. This is the weekly on Bitcoin. And this
I don't know
like,
if that happened again. I think that was a global elite scam.
you think
I don't know if that happens again.
last bear market?
Mm-hmm. And that was also SBF.
Right.
It was
easy.
that.
I mean, 4 years, we're due for another black swan of some sorts, right? Like, what happens?
Yeah, but I'm just
like,
wondering if like Bitcoin really just does like if there's no it will do drawdowns, but it doesn't do. It's not like following a 4-year cycle.
how far does Bitcoin drop if Michael Saylor gets hit by a bus tomorrow?
Depends if he had all the private keys. If it's lock supply, that's bullish.
I don't imagine he has the private keys. So it really depends on if MicroStrategy is going to continue their same strategy.
If Michael Saylor got hit by a bus, MicroStrategy would probably drop about 78%.
I don't know about that.
And then they have to sell Bitcoin.
No, all of the things that he has is financial contracts. It's all written, set in stone.
I
So
mean,
I
it
feel
doesn't
like
affect how the market reacts to it, though.
I don't think that's the biggest problem right now. Regardless, Bitcoin's absolutely sending. I think we get another leg up here from the. So I like the chart that you're looking at. Let me pull mine back up. You're looking at the weekly there. What I would look at is that bottom to top. So you went from 75 up to 110. I could see one of those runs right now. Which would be 35K, which would bring us to like 140, something like that. It's weird though because it's the summer. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah, I just feel like the 4-year cycle, like there's not a very strong logical underpinning to it. It's mostly psychological. And now that there's an ETF and now that you have a bunch of TradFi involved, like, does that psychology still hold up? Like, if you have 401ks that are just auto buying this, if you have funds that are just auto buying this,
Dude, it's crazy. It's an insane situation. The comparison I saw was to gold, and then Ansem did a tweet, which then ended up turning into an article in my in Choose Rich Live. By the way, the push notification thing, I'm revamping the whole thing. I'm about to push the fix today, and we're finally done.
When's
with
the
that
app going live, dude?
battle this week.
Promise?
Yeah.
Pinky promise me right now.
I promise that next week we will be live.
This week or next week?
I love that. It's going live this week. But by next week, we will be live.
What the fuck? What the hell?
What happens first? App goes live or Bitcoin all-time high?
Why is it so dark in Clemente's place?
Dude,
Yeah, I don't know why it just sounded
I think
like
there's a massive gray cloud that just came over Miami.
It looks dark in your hemisphere, brother.
Whoa. Okay, no, this is too dark. I gotta change
kinda
the ISO.
China, dude. They're
The
attacking.
ISO.
I gotta
So
change
the dial on the back, you're looking to hit the ISO button,
We do it live.
and then you scroll down. So there's a button which is ISO. You don't just start turning the dial.
This is so creepy. Someone just tunes in. They see Clemente just staring at him right now.
Oh.
Hey. There we go.
We're not doing the barking thing.
To the bark, to the bark, to the bark.
That mentality.
All right. Moving on, please. Moving on.
Moving on. We've been on for an hour.
So if I
Anything else?
deposit, oh, go ahead, and we'll talk after the show.
Anything else you guys want to talk about today? Nope. We'll wrap it up. Thank you all for listening. It's been a wonderful Tuesday. We do the show Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern time. Catch us on all major podcasting platforms. Catch us on YouTube. Watch us back there. You'll see us tomorrow. Thanks for listening. Have a wonderful